my beautiful Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumi Desalu-Vold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed, my darlings. We are on the verge of spring, my loves, and the house is just filled with so much light. Yes, my darling. You must be wondering, Fumi, what are you wearing? A lot of you said, Fumi, we love the pictures that you put on the community page. And I really, honestly, I would put more than 5, but 5 is the max. And I always take them when I'm sitting down. But a lot of you said, Fumi, stand up so you can see the whole thing. And I am dressed very proper today because I am addressing our wonderful Kemi Badenoch. But before we get to her, let me get up for you, my darlings. I've also gone ahead and taken a picture for you as well. So this is the dress. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to love it. You know, I have a lady that I go to and she helps me with my outfits and so on and so forth. I'm going to step forward. The dress was very baggy and it didn't have much of a structure, so I got her to put a big elastic band in it so that it could give it some shape. And then what I did was that I took the little belt that it had and then I just put that on top of it so that it gave it some kind of waistline, and you just tie it like that. So that's what it looks like. Of course you can open up the neck, but I just thought it was such a cute dress. It flows, it's wonderful for parents, teachers, meetings. Okay, so my darlings, why are we here?
The weekend, I suggested to the Prime Minister that he cut the aid budget, and I'm pleased that he accepted my advice.
I'm going to have to let the Leader of the Opposition down gently. She didn't feature in my thinking at all. I was so busy over the weekend I didn't even see her proposal. I think she's appointed herself, I think, Saviour of the Western civilization. It's a desperate search for relevance.
Well, let us read first, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty. Okay? Things are not going so well. That is why I'm here. A lot of you asked me in the comment section, you were like, Fumi, please talk about this. And I said, well, if you insist. And so here I am, my darlings. Okay, let us start from the beginning. Badenoch set to follow Sunak down trapdoor. The Tory leader has been useful for her party extremists who want to lurch even further to the right. And she's been at it again. Here's a prediction for you. Kemi Badenoch will not be the leader of the Conservative Party by the next general election. She looks to have served her purpose, weaponizing her skin color to prevent critics of her xenophobic right-wing policies from coming for her. She has been useful to the Tory extremists who want to lurch even further to the right. And Kemi has been at it again, claiming on Monday at a right-wing summit in London that policies are designed to give everyone a fair crack of the whip in society are poison. But as my colleague Lizzie Bohan pointed out in her column on Monday, the knives are out for Badenoch within her own party. It would now appear to be a matter of time. Olukemi Olufunto Adegoke Badenoch, her full name, has nothing in the tank beyond bile and vitriol for the immigrants who came to this country to escape hardship, as she did. She was born in Wimbledon in 1980 after her mother traveled from Nigeria to give birth in a private hospital. Kemi returned to Nigeria soon after. The following year, the British Nationality Act later abolished automatic birthright citizenship. Badenoch came to the UK at 16 to live with a friend of her mom due to the deepening political and economic climate in Nigeria. It's interesting, it really is, as far as I'm concerned. This is your family of which you said that they were well off, they were capable. They did not come back to England, but yet you were sent as a 16-year-old girl to be the responsibility of somebody else in the United Kingdom. Very interesting. Let's move on. Populism and willingness to be used as a front for xenophobia has worked for her thus far, but whisperings behind the scenes would appear to suggest her dire Prime Minister's questions performances have seen the hourglass upturned on her tenor. The muter from the gutter, that is the Tory right wing, is her first 100 days have been underwhelming to say the least. A recent YouGov poll said 14% of respondents believe Kemi looks like a future Prime Minister, while not more than 26 reckon she is capable enough to be in number 10. The poor performance in May's local elections could see the trapdoor open up underneath her, just as it did when Rishi Sunak, who mocked his own skin color on the campaign trail, was blessed at last year's general election. He's done exactly as Badenoch is doing, prostrating himself to the racist and the xenophobias on the Tory fringes.
Let's talk about Kemi Badenoch, the newly crowned leader of the UK's opposition Conservative Party. She's the perfect example of what you might call a 21st century house Negro.
The British Empire ended slavery, the Atlantic slave trade. We need to talk about that more.
Do you remember Malcolm X's analysis that if the master fell ill, the house Negro would say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" Because he ends up identifying with his oppressor. Well, Badenoch takes it a step further. She's not just saying we in the sense of her and her master. She wants all of us to forget the British Empire's brutality during slavery and instead thank Britain for ending it. Sister. Ending slavery wasn't a righteous act of morality. It was economics. It made business and sense, or should we say pounds and pence. How else can you dignify Britain replacing chains with colonies and calling it liberation from primitiveness? Whose primitiveness? Born to Nigerian Yoruba parents in the UK, Badenoch grew up in Lagos, yet she proudly boasts about having nothing in common with Nigerians, or at least with northern Nigerians whom she lazily associates with extremist terrorists, arguing they were the ones who ethnically cleansed her people. Looks like her memory was also cleansed, as surely she must have learned about Britain's centuries-long ethnic cleansing of African and indigenous people globally. While she doesn't want to be lumped together with Nigerians from the north, ironically, she's eager to project herself as belonging to the British Crown, the same crown whose empire caused Nigeria's north-south divide in the first place in fear of and to prevent a unified rebellion against their settler colonialism. Rather strange, denying your connection to the oppressed, but swearing allegiance to those who still have your own in neo-colonial shackles. Talk about cognitive dissonance on a grand scale. She even likes to tell people that her Yoruba name Adegoke means warrior and that she's willing to die protecting the British crown. Protected from whom and what exactly? The global south it's still exploiting? Malcolm X would have said that's the house Negro fighting harder to save the master's house than the master himself. And let's not forget her criticisms of black and brown immigrants, saying they need to integrate into British culture so British values aren't eroded, while she gives European immigrants warm welcomes. British values? You mean slavery, colonialism, fish and chips without seasoning? Kemi Badenoch isn't just echoing the rhetoric of the house Negro, she's updating it for the contemporary, supposedly post-slavery world. Now, for those of you who wish to be welcomed and accepted into the oppressor's kingdom, Badenoch is a walking masterclass of what it takes. Don't let me stop your hustle. As for those who seek to dismantle structures designed to disenfranchise us, she's a reminder that black faces in high places are not gonna save us. So don't be bamboozled. Stay vigilant, stay critical, and question everything.
My name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed.
As for the hair, darling, none other than Healthy Hair Studio that brought back, let me just see, all of my edges. All of my edges. I was completely bald, baby. I really was.
We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp. That's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved. And we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking here.
It is hard to know when politicians of color, like the two of them, will learn that they will never be viewed by the extremists in the way that they would like to be seen. There's a scene at the end of the 1983 movie Trading Places where two of the main characters, brothers and company owners, Randolph and Mortimer Duke, are in a work restroom discussing their employee, Billy Ray Valentine, played by Eddie Murphy, as he hides in the toilet cubicle listening. Believing they are alone, Randolph asks Mortimer, I've watched the film, I love it, whether he really believes he would put someone who looks like Murphy in charge of the family business. No, says Mortimer, neither would I. That scene came to mind last year when Reform leader Nigel Farage claimed Sunak, after all he'd done to endear himself to the extremists, doesn't understand our culture, after Sunak had left the D-Day commiserations in France early. Badenoch would do well to read the tea leaves stateside, where Donald Trump's merit-based politics, basically that the default standard of competency in his world is white and male. The coming months are shaping up to be brutal. Baby girl. Baby girl. What did I say in my first episode? What did I say in my first episode? I'll put the link below for you guys to see. I might even put a snippet here for you. I said, you never betray your own people. Much more painful. If you come here and your intent is just to cause havoc, chaos, and be a criminal, fine, not a problem. But when people come, they want to better themselves. You extend that gratuity and you do not attack their integrity and make them feel small. You find food, you find shelter, you find clothing, you give them jobs. You give them opportunities. I have to refer to your heritage, to how you came here, because it's the very thing that you're knocking against. Your mother was not a criminal. Your mother was not here to steal, to beg, to make things difficult. She did not have a high net job. She took advantage of what she knew that you would benefit from. May your father rest in peace, but I do know that that was what he wanted for you. And I'm under the impression that many would have been proud of you because we have somebody who belongs to two worlds. I would have expected that you would want to come to Nigeria, that you would go to Nigeria, that we would set up different treaties. Let us see how we can weld this together. Because I tell you, Kemi, the white man that you think you have impressed, you have not impressed him. You've only shown him that you will betray your people. That's all. And that's what this is. You did not have to make the statement. Somebody else in your party could have said it. As a Nigerian with Nigerian blood flowing through your veins, it was not for you to say. Because now we know you're not our ally. Again, like I said, it's not a matter of immigrants should flood this place. No, immigrants should not flood any country. But there are circumstances and there are situations, and you being in a position where something can be done, it is to help, but not to push against. And that is where this angst is coming from. It's also coming from the fact that you are a Nigerian. Whether you don't claim yourself to be Niger or Yoruba, please make that make sense. That does not make sense to me whatsoever. It doesn't make sense. You are Nigerian. You are black. Anytime when anybody sees you, they know you're black. That will never go away. It will go into your children and to your children's children. And that is what we stand for. That the generation in front of us will be better than what we have done, of what we can accomplish. Kemi, you are an anchor baby. Your mother came here and gave birth to you, and then she went back home. God bless her, because that was the right thing to do, to always give your children, all our children, because you're a mother as well, I'm a mother as well, to give the best for our children. But because you stand in a position of where you are tone deaf and there is hypocrisy, because we know how you came here and did very well, it's just ironic that you have shut the door of which you went through. I am black. I am an African. I am black American. I am black British. And I do not trade any part of me in any room, even the rooms of which I'm yet to walk in. I bring my culture, and my people walk in before me, because that's our culture, Kemi. You thought that you could sit down here, because I can see how it all goes down. Kemi, darling, do you want to go down to the pub, have a pint? Let's have a pint. And you know what it was? They saw how you treated your people, and I said it in the first episode. I said, nobody's impressed. You only showed your hand, and that is showing your heart also, that you would betray your own. And you became the weakest link and the easiest target. So you went down to the pub to get a pint, and they decided to have this discussion with you, knowing that you betray your own, and unbeknownst to you that you will never be one of them. That's the mistake that you made. Auntie Fumi is out here with her healthy hair studio hair, living and loving all her edges. I told you the last time, you look stressed. Call Healthy Hair Studio. Her name is ENITAN. I'm feeling quite okay. I'm 55. Darling, you're 45. You seem to need some kind of rest. You need to rest. Go to Healthy Hair Studio. Get the works. Get a nice wash. Let them rebraid your hair. Let them give you the deep follicle treatment so that you can have all of your edges. Wear some color. Wear some color. Be bright. A woman should always be pleasant to look at, even in politics. And then you go for gold. Come and eat your pounded yam, because this matter really doesn't concern you. You know why? Because from this article and other articles, by the way, it's letting me know that you're being used. I'm telling you, your big sister right here is giving you sound advice. I gave it to you a couple of weeks ago. You chose not to listen. Well, here you are. You are being told categorically. They're even comparing you to an Eddie Murphy movie. I mean, this is disastrous. As far as I'm concerned, darling, the polls for you are terrible. I would strongly suggest go out to the people, go to the bakers, go to the supermarket, go to the schools, talk to the bus drivers. I spoke to the bus drivers. Yes, I actually reconstructed traffic because there was a gridlock. Nobody wanted to move. Maybe you could take some tips there. I'll put it there for you to see. Okay? I know, don't worry. You know, somebody has to be the bigger person. Don't worry. The first thing you get because of the children. You're right. I don't argue with you. I just want the bigger thing. Let them pick up their kids and go. Yeah, oh my God. Okay. So you will turn. Yeah. And then we turn. It's okay. It's alright. You go pick up the kids. That's it. We go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You want to come? And then turn. Come. And turn. That's it. Yes? Okay. It's okay. It's okay. We go. And then we go. Yeah. I'll wait for you. Go. Okay. Allez! That's it. This right here, seriously, Kemi, you have to sit back, catch a breath, come all the way back home and say to yourself, what am I doing exactly? Because this right here is not good news. That's all I gotta say. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, use my discount code at Healthy Hair Studio. And then before we go, on a much lighter, brighter note, we're going to Mykonos. Yes, darling. In October. Darlings, get ready. We're going to have very much like a summit, and it is none other than ADAFE, who is the social media goddess. And if you want to really amp your businesses, then come to Mykonos. We're going to be there for 3 days. I am going to be there. Did I tell you? Yes, I am. I'll be teaching you all kinds of things, and you will come back a powerhouse. Yes, Kemi, you can come too. You got to buy your ticket though. Buy your ticket and you can come if you behave yourself. We just might, share 1 or 2 tips with you, because this right here is a hot smoking mess. It is disappointing because when you came as a Nigerian, Nigerian British, we thought that this would be the merge. As a woman, as a mother, as a politician, educated, having come up and built this career, that you would understand what is needed. But instead, with all of your education, and I consider you quite clever, you're showing that you're not clever at all. I don't know what to tell you. Drop it down in the comments, my darlings, and I will see you what? I will see you sooner than later. All of my love.
The value of the information that we were given. So it's not overwhelming. It was very clearly laid out. It was accessible, even for someone that's not familiar with public relations.
Now I'm leaving, feeling more PR ready. What I thought I knew, I now know more. What I came to do, I've done so much more.
If you are serious about really growing your business or growing your brand, then this is really this is a must.
And I love the fact that I came away from it feeling and knowing that I now have a clear pathway for the things I want to do next for my business.
I'm literally in awe.
I feel like I can pitch. There's so many platforms that I've wanted to go on, so many podcasts or just things that I thought I can only dream about. But in this retreat and just through the classes and the sessions, I really learned how to actually reach out to those platforms, to those huge platforms.
Know that when it comes to PR, Nina gonna put you together, okay? During our sessions, how she walked us through the playbook and she had us complete tasks. It gave us a sense of clarity.
Nina, you did that. You brought a group of amazing women together and you helped us bond, see our worthiness, and it was everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Yes, it's really been a unforgettable experience.
This is by far the most impactful few days I've had in a very long time.
Nina, you have no idea how profoundly your journey has impacted my journey.
Don't even think about not signing